Selling vehicles with Google by writing ads that drive customers, part two. What's going on, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias back here with you. And please work with me with this nasty eye infection. But I'm here regardless to bring you as much value as I possibly can. So you can listen to me this time rather than looking at me. That is completely fine. So in the last video, in part one, what we talked about is this template that I'm looking at. And this template basically shows a succinct way on how to generate ad copy for Google. We talked about headlines. We talked about descriptions. We talked about different taglines. We talked about setting it up in the different types of campaigns. We talked about where the name of the dealer should go, the slogan and the directional, the value message, all this different type of stuff that helps drive ads to help sell more vehicles, right? By driving customer engagement. So in this video, oh, and by the way, if you didn't catch that last video, it's going to be up at the top here, up at the top right somewhere. Go ahead and take a look. But if you have seen that already and are curious more, in this video, what we're going to talk about is taking that a step further. What does that mean? Well, we're going to go through actual headlines, call outs, labels, all these different things to help get people's attention. And this second part of the video was actually brought on to me from a subscriber. His name is Mark Wagner, at least that's what his profile says. He commented the following: I wanted to let you know I really enjoy your content. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate that. That's part of the reason I make this stuff. He goes, I handle our SEM in-house. One thing I struggle with is creating strong headlines for our ads given the limited character count that we have to use. It'd be great if that's something you could cover sometime. We're going to do that right now. So not only are we going to cover that, my favorite ways to help with character length, but I'm going to give you some different types of ideas that you can use for the car industry that very few or practically none that I've seen are actually using. And this will help get people's attention in a different type of way because we're speaking to them. We're not necessarily just going to put in an offer and hope for the best or say we got $10,000 off and hope for the best. Let's try a few unique ways and different things to help that. So without further ado, this is the template. This is what we covered. Now I'm going to scroll here to the right. One way, Mark, and anybody watching, I like to use this equals LN or LEN formula, which basically tells me a character count. So for example, I have this headline in here, dealer Nissan, which would represent whatever the name of the store is. So, Midlothian Nissan, Bill K Nissan, whatever it is. And then this will tell me how many characters it uses. And that's why in this template, I have H1 30, 30, 30, because all headlines are 30. And D1, D2, that represents description. Those are 90 character limits. So this spreadsheet, that's why I work it in here. That can help, right? It takes away the of having to count characters before you put in there. So I use it as my rough draft sheet, but what I want to talk about is not all these columns A through H. I want to talk about the rest of the columns because this is where it gets a little bit different. And I'm going to share with you this book that I've been reading. It's not mine. It's by Alex Hormozi. And I just think it's really, really good as far as ad copy and a lot of other things. But before I do that, let me actually share this with you. Okay. So I've skipped to a certain specific in one of his books, $100 million Leads. And he says, step 3, but what should my ad say? And he formulates it into a formula right here. Call out plus value plus call to action. So I'm not going to go ahead and read all the paragraph and everything in here, but just note that call outs, value, and a call to action are what we take away from this. So first off, we're talking about call outs. And I think this is going to really resonate with Mark's comments and a lot of other viewers watching this. And it could be regardless of industry. You can use this for anything. So when I scroll down here, he breaks call outs into a few different categories. One being labels, a word or set of words putting people into a group. These including features, traits, titles, places, and other descriptors. Example, Clark County moms, gym owners, remote workers. Two, yes questions, meaning questions where if people answer yes, that's me, then they qualify themselves for the offer. Do you wake up to pee more than once in the night? Do you have trouble tying your shoes? Do you have a home worth 400,000 or worth over 400,000? Number three, if then statements. If they meet your conditions, then you help them make a decision. If you run over 100,000 per month in ads, we can save you 20% or more. That's famously done too. If then, like Geico, I think. Um, Looking to save more money on car insurance, we save you up to 20% or more on car insurance. I think that's Geico. And then four, ridiculous results, bizarre, rare, out of the ordinary stuff. Massage studio books out 2 years in advance. Client furious. That's kind of interesting, right? So we're going to focus today on call outs and specifying them to the automotive industry. But note, if you're in any other industry watching this, you can utilize these formulas and utilize these categories to help your ads become stronger. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to share a tip with him that I think is really valuable, and I'm going to actually start doing too. So I just wanted to brainstorm a couple of different categories. And note, if you're looking for these categories and some of these formulas that I'm talking about, this template, by the time of this video being viewed, will actually be in the description. So go ahead, check it out, download it, make a copy of it. It'll be working formula. So let me know what you think, and I can fine tune and tweak and make any comments. So first we have call out. So we need to, well, all of this is call out, right? But we need to start brainstorming ideas. So we're going to focus on call outs first. So I'm just brainstorming here, right? Shopping for the best practical and safest SUV for your family. Interested in unmatched safety when you're on the road? Do you live in the north suburbs of Chicago? Do you want to ensure your commute is efficient? Again, we're trying to frame it into the customer's, point of view. Need to go car shopping, but don't know who to trust. I was going to say don't know where to start. That'd be another good one. Hey, Marion Grove and surrounding area residents, looking to or know someone that needs a car? Are you a Chicagoland resident and don't know where to start in the purchase of your next car? Need a reliable car that won't break the bank? So again, these are a lot of questions, and I was just initially brainstorming here, right? But now I'm going to take it a step further. We're not going to get into the value right now. That could be something for a different video. Comment at me if you want to hear more value messaging, but let's stick on callouts because that is what's going to be the prominence of your ad, right? So here I have a formula 2 telling me how my character length is, and I'm going to continue that theme. So let's go over here. We got type callout. Okay, so I decided I'm going to move my face somewhere where it's out of the way, but we're going to work with callouts, and I'm starting to design this spreadsheet where it's going to have callout columns, value columns, and call to action columns so we can start seeing. But we're going to have the type, okay, and we're all going to focus on callouts this time. Then we're going to have category, which is, let's start with labels. So we're going to assume a fictional place in the northern part of the Chicagoland region called Marion Grove. I don't think it's an actual place, but let's actually get into it right now. So, oh boy, where am I going to move myself? Okay, labels. Marion Grove residents. See, I don't see too many ads like that starting inside car dealer ads. You can isolate a target, you can isolate a location, and you can just call them out. Hey, Marion Grove residents. That's going to be really, really impactful if they are of Marion Grove. Or you could say Marion Grove and surrounding suburb residents. People will know, oh, yeah, I know that place, or I've been to that place, or that place is 5 minutes from me. That's why it's important. So I have different variations of that too. Marion Grove residents, Marion Park car shoppers, citizens of North Chicagoland, North Chicagoland Nissan drivers. I'm continuing to use Nissan in our example. North Suburb Nissan drivers, Marion Grove Nissan drivers, Marion Park Nissan drivers, Marion Park drivers, Marion Park car owners. You get the gist. Just come up with a lot of variations. Plus, if you're struggling on variations, this would be a great instance to use ChatGPT, or it used to be called Bard. What is it called now? Gemini. Google's Gemini. I'll show you right now. All right, so just shifted over to ChatGPT for a second. I said, give me variations. Didn't spell it right, though. Give me variations of how to say Marion Grove residents in the form of ad callouts for that area. I'm just going to put that in, and it's going to give me a list that's not quite right. Experience the tranquility of Marion Grove living. Discover the charm of Marion Grove. Your new home awaits. Um, this is where AI needs to be fine tuned, right? So I need to make it a little bit shorter. Make it shorter and for people in market for vehicles. This is how I potentially start to brainstorm different ways of calling out people, coming up with verbiage, coming up with content, whatever it is. So drive home to Marion Grove, discover Marion Grove, find your drive at Marion Grove. Doesn't quite get at what we're going after, but you get the gist. This is one way I would start to brainstorm and utilize AI to help synthesize different ad copy ideas. But let's go back to the template. So those are examples of labels, right? I just to finish it out, North Suburb Hyundai drivers, if we're doing Hyundai, sporty sedan seekers, family friendly drivers. So those are our labels. Going back to Hermosi's second topic, yes questions. Questions where if people say, yes, that's me, they qualify themselves for the offer, right? Do you need a reliable car? Would you like a new car? Is your car payment is too high? Is your car payment too high? Looking to upgrade your vehicle? Want more peace of mind in your commute? Tired of high-priced car pay? What is this? Tired of high-priced car maintenance? Is your car 2 to 3 years old and want to get something new? Is your car 2 to 3 years old and looking for a cheaper payment? Is your car 2 to 3 years old? Is your car more than 2 years old? Do you have more than one kid? Are you driving your kid to soccer practice? Are you your kid's chauffeur? Those are things that instead of just saying new Rogue, it's the greatest Rogue ever since the last Rogue, new Hyundai Sonata, it's got some safety awards, yip-de-doo-da-day. Who cares, right? But if you're writing an ad that says, hey, are you your kid's chauffeur? Well, maybe you want to be more safe than, feel more safe than you ever have. And you do that by buying a Hyundai Sonata with, your top 3 IIHS safety pick, right? I'm just throwing stuff out there, guys. But this is a little bit of a different take on it. This will help you in the brainstorming process. And I love, again, using this character limit count because, again, what's my headline character count? 30. What's my description character count? 90. So now I can see what can I start to use and what can I start to put together. I see that the ones less than 30, I know I can have as headlines and test for headlines. And the ones that are more than 30, I can use as a partial or a full description when I start to mix and match them up. But again, when you brainstorm, you just want to kind of spew stuff out there. Then you can label and categorize and do all that stuff later. So those are some yes questions. Looking for an adventure-ready vehicle, so on and so forth. Notice, too, what I'm starting to do is I have this guy up here. It's called I'm calling it subtopic, right? Because that would be more synonymous to my campaigns. Where can all this stuff be used? Well, it can be used in any campaign that we have. But this one, is your car payment too high? That might be something to use for a credit message. So as I start to synthesize these, as I start to go, I'm going to start classifying and labeling so I know, okay, what messages can I put together? Which ones fit together and build off of each other, right? And that's how we're going to fine tune and create a successful ad. So you'll see that more and more. And this template is set up for you to download, brainstorm, use at your will, and help you start to do this process too. So let's go down to if-then statements. So now we have credit one. If you need a reliable car and want to lower your payment, Nissan dealer can save you thousands. That's a 91 character limit. So I'm just over that description. So maybe if you need a reliable car and want to lower your payment, I could say, if you need, is that the same? Yeah. We can start to play with it. Need a reliable car and want to lower your payment, Nissan dealer can save you thousands. And then now I'm at 84. But again, we need to experiment. It's not fine-tuned, right? If you want to buy a car with credit challenges, then pay attention, right? That would be an if-then statement. If you want to have a better experience buying your next vehicle, here's how we can help. It's a very simple message. And we have to call the people out right away. Ridiculous results. Nissan dealer was able to save a customer $10,000 yesterday. So let's do it like this. Like, that's an interesting headline, right? If I saw that headline, and I'm going to switch over here to a practice account. If I switch over here, it's over my character limit. But if you see something like Nissan dealer was able to save a customer $10,000 yesterday, swap this with your store name, ABC Motors was able to save a $10,000 customer $10,000 yesterday. Here's you could say in a matter of an hour. Here's how, right? ABC Motors was able to save a customer $10,000 yesterday in a matter of an hour. It doesn't show my here's how because I got too many characters. But again, that's a different type of car dealer ad than the normal agency is putting out there. New Nissan Rogue, $239 a month. Get your best Nissan Rogue today. Like everybody else, commodity content, right? Commodity offer, commodity product. We want to get away from that. ABC Motors was able to save a customer $10,000 yesterday. Find out how they did that in a matter of minutes. Then we're starting to cook with something different, right? So what I'm looking at now is the actual ad interface. People that do SEM in-house, like our example guy, Mark, and others will be able to edit this and actually see what it looks like. So I can actually preview and see what's going on here. I can look at mobile, I can look at desktop, all these different things. And I just want to show you an example. I can keep going into this more, but I want to stick with the template. So a couple more things here. Nissan dealers are able to sell you a car in less than an hour. That's for people that are time conscious. We're able to guarantee 100% satisfaction experience. Ooh, sounds scary. How are we going to do that? We're able to give you a 5-year warranty that's better than any other Nissan store. So if Nissan doesn't give a warranty, right, there's tons of dealers that I work with that give these custom warranties. Some are better than others. Some are a little fugazi. But again, if you're trying to sell what your store has available, what makes it unique? And express that it is unique. We're able to give you something that's better than any of our competition. We need to make sure people understand that, right? We're able to give you a 1 year of complimentary maintenance. And then I start making some other statements. Get a lower payment quote in 10 minutes or less. Get the value of your vehicle in 5 minutes or less. Save money and save time. Who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to save money and save time at the same time? Like, if we can convey that and actually legitimately back it up with some good processes and some good follow-up, you're going to increase customers because nobody is doing that. So, guys, I can keep ranting on and on and on about some of these examples. Again, these aren't set in stone. They are literally just brainstormed. But hopefully this helps. Again, in part 1, we talked about selling more cars with Google by using this template to help systematically start to construct and build your ad copy in a way that makes sense. In this video, part 2, we talked about taking that to a next level by focusing on this. Where is it? Focusing on this formula, call out, value plus call to action. And specifically, we give call out examples in our ad copy all over this template. So in future videos, maybe in part 3, part 4, part whatever, I will focus on value. I will focus on call to action and how to phrase that. I also give you ideas on how to express your value that separates truly from your store without lying to the customer, right? That would be a topic for next time, but we're going to end here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. This is David Feldman-Makrias, and I will see you in the next video. You have yourself a fantastic day.